Welcome to Breaking the Vow on Strong Island Radio. This is a show where we turn pain into power and find recovery after divorce, separation, and breakups. This is where we push the emotional hang-ups to the side and create a plan to reach our best possible potential. This is where the next chapter starts and how the healing begins. So let's welcome your hosts, Theresa D. and Benny, the life coach.
Okay, so we are back, and welcome to another episode of Breaking the Vow. I am Benny, the life coach. With me, as always, is...
Theresa D.
So, Theresa, do you know why I'm excited today?
I know why you're excited.
All right, so I have
We're in the same room.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
It is a true story. So before the show, folks, and in the green room, there's someone very special to myself, to us, to the show, and also to my neighborhood. There was one thing I always say: you never forget the kids from the neighborhood. You never forget who you were with. You never forget who you ran with, who you grew up with.
Right.
Because there's something about them that's judgment-free, and
Right.
there's a love that is just. Listen, we came from we kicked the same dirt. You know what I mean? So I would like to, without further ado, welcome an old friend from the neighborhood. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, guys. My name's Ann Brandy Adazio. Some people know me as Ann. Other people know me as Brandy. So kind of multiple personalities going on right off the bat.
So you and I have gone through some things in life.
Yes.
I identify as a person in recovery.
Yeah.
And you knew me then.
Yeah.
You knew me.
Just like you knew me.
Then. So,
Yes.
Tell us about who you are and what's, how you identify.
Well,
I identify as a unicorn.
I am a tree. I am a Vietnamese tree on Sunday. Is today Sunday?
No.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay, so I'm not a tree today.
I identify as a goddess.
And I love that.
I identify
I would say
as
empress.
a goddess. Yeah, high priestess.
Yes.
I definitely.
I would say that.
Thank you. Thank you
welcome.
very much.
I am the humble slave.
No, but for my life, yeah, that's exactly who I am today.
So now it took you a while to get to that person, to the person you are today. So I know. So what I know, no one knows because I don't do that, right? Mm-hmm. This show is about you, and I love recovery, and everybody's recovering from something. Mm-hmm. And you have certainly taken steps to recover from things that happened to you in your life, right?
Yes.
Now, when we're kids, we don't know that stuff. We don't know. We just went nuts and
Did what we had to do.
got drunk in the back of Woodland Junior High School and freaking took whatever else we took.
Go to the sumps.
In junior high school?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
junior high,
Oh
yeah.
our neighborhood.
We
So
were crazy.
I do not value war stories. I see no reason in telling them. And I
Right.
remember one time it was in my former life with my former wife, and I remember I was at this very wealthy wedding, and on the way there, she's like, "Don't go telling nobody your stories. Don't talk to them. Leave them alone." And I got coached on how to behave.
Yeah.
So
Like what your mom used to do before you went anywhere.
yeah, but not quite. Yeah.
You were getting prepped.
Yeah.
but not quite.
Don't
as,
ask for anything.
don't-
If they don't offer it to you, you don't take it.
Just sit there. Don't say anything.
Exactly.
And that's not really me.
No.
But I was in that life. And they're all talking. They're all very wealthy people, and they're talking about the help. And I'm thinking, I'm the help, motherfucker. Like I remember being really pissed off, and my pride started hitting me. And then they started, and you'll definitely understand this, and will definitely understand this. So as they're going around talking about how it's hard to find good help these days.
Oh, really?
Oh, you would have beat them up.
Yeah.
Teresa's no joke. One of my closest friends, one of my dearest friends, she would have been like, "You're gonna let them say that, huh?"
I would have definitely bugged out. I would have been like, "Excuse me,
So
like where are you coming from?"
So they started talking, and then the women went to dance, and they're talking more, and then I told her about politics. This one guy goes, "You don't say much." I says, I never talk about religion and politics. It starts fights. That was my way of telling this guy to go shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about how they were like crazy kids. They all grew up with each other. So I'm not really comparing.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to what they said. He goes, "Yeah, you look like you might have got
Someone
high."
stole someone's polo pony? Like what?
Yeah, kind of. Like you look like you might have got high once, twice. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. I did. Sure. And they were talking about how they like would take their mother's car to go to Rockaway. And I was like, well, no, what we would do is a friend of mine worked at a mobile on Front Street. And we would go in there, we would steal the keys to the cars, and then we would take the car to go to Rockaway.
Right, beach.
Right.
Yeah. and then when we'd come back and then we'd light the car on fire or leave it up, flipped over on someone's lawn. And the guy was like, and the guy was talking about how when he was in Rockaway, this happened. I was like, I remember one time being in Brooklyn, this guy put a gun in my face. Yeah, sure. And then he kept on going, quid pro quo, like trying to come back at me. And then he's like, yeah, well, one time in our high school, the cops came because there was a fight. I says, I don't remember anything like that. I said, but I do remember one time being by the bus ramps, and we were all sitting off smoking whatever it was we were smoking, and then the cops came in. So what we did was we attacked the cop car. We jumped on it until it bounced up the car, whoop, 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 and drove away. The guy goes, you went to a fucked up high school. Where the hell did you grow up?
Where did you go? I never want to go there.
I go, no. That was junior high. All my friends were in jail by high school. Did I say?
No, you 1,000% correct.
And then that was the last time I ever told a war story, because what I did was I honored my fear and my intimidation, and I wanted him to know, I don't punish you.
Yeah.
But what I really did was I made myself look like a joke because I fed into this person as if to defend myself. I wanted to feel safe and I wanted to protect myself.
Right.
Now, I say this because I know what abuse is. I call it me.
Right.
I know what anxiety is. I call that me. Now, I know your story.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to tell your story. In a couple minutes, we're gonna go to commercial. But I can say that you know what abuse is.
Oh, yes. More than I wish I knew, to be honest. You know, I feel like I've experienced so many different things that when I tell people, like, to me, I could just, like a book, just speak it out. Like it's nothing. And people look at me and they're like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, how are you still here?
Right.
Like,
How are you still standing?
So strong. And like, it's only at that moment do I really realize how strong I really am.
Right.
Because sometimes I could feel so weak.
Yes.
And you don't realize it until
Yes.
you actually have somebody coming back to you and
Right.
Kind
And
of
validating and saying
ex-
to you, wow.
what? Yeah, you're amazing. What
Right.
an amazing job!
Yes.
Like you're an inspiration. You're a
Right.
hope to people.
Yes.
You know, and it's at that moment that I know, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm here to tell my story, and I want as many people out there to know it,
Right.
and know that
And know
no
that they're
matter-
not alone.
They are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I'm 47, and I'm just getting my life together.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through hell and back. I've seen the worst, the best,
Yeah.
everything, and you know, to be here today, and you know, and to look back and be like, how am I not dead?
Right.
From the drugs that I did or the positions I put myself into. It really is amazing, to be honest.
I can tell you how. Are you ready for the answer?
Yes.
You're a hero.
And so are you.
This show isn't about me.
No, I know, but I would
this
be
is
lying if I
that-
didn't say it.
Thank you. I have had the opportunity to see you grow from that little girl
Thank you. Yeah.
So you've seen it.
to become who you are now.
Right.
I know
You witnessed.
what happened.
Yes.
See, the thing about kids from the neighborhood, we know.
Yeah.
That's why we're comfortable
Right.
around people like
Yeah.
us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm comfortable with Theresa because she'll look at me and she'll know if I'm upset,
Right.
what I'm upset, or somebody says something.
Yeah.
Theresa knows already why
Yeah.
I'm upset.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, people from the neighborhood, old friends.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
no friends like old friends. How many
No.
times have you heard me
Right.
say
Yes,
that, right?
Yeah.
it's really true. You're lucky.
When you see them and you hear what someone says, immediately, like, they're not going to like that.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
They're not going to
They're not
like
gonna
that.
like that.
Yeah.
And you are heroic. And, we're going to be going into a commercial in a little bit over a minute. And I want you to think about a few things before the commercial,
Okay.
because this show is about you. And we're here to honor you today.
Which I am so appreciative and so, humbly honored to be here. Like, it's from the bottom of my heart and soul to be able to be on this platform and just be here. I cannot thank you both enough.
Well, this thank you.
And that's just genuine. That's just me.
We're going to go into some topics.
That's fine.
The things that we go through when we're children create what we believe with biases and
Yes.
subconscious programs when we grow into an adult, right? I mean, maybe, listen, I'm no therapist, but I do know that a lot of my challenges and my struggles are due to boundaries that were violated when I was a child.
Yep.
Right.
A lot of my trust symptoms
Yeah.
Oh,
symptoms
yeah.
were because of things that had happened. So we're going to go to a break real quick,
Okay.
and the world is yours right now.
All right, let's do it.
Yes.
I'm excited.
We'll be back.
Ben, I found the greatest invention ever.
Okay.
I went to take my patio furniture out,
Okay.
and I realized that last year when I put it all away, I put them in these big zipper bags from Wrap America.
Yes.
Life-changing.
Yes. No. Rap America is awesome. Tommy definitely helped me out on a few different occasions. He
It
actually
holds patio furniture, wave runners, ATVs. It's weather resistant. It's the
advanced
best.
protection wrap
Yes.
is economical and a practical choice.
So call 516-830-0040, or you can go onto their website, wrap-america.com.
All right. Since we have a meeting after this in West Islip,
Yes.
I got a place for us to go.
Oh, you do?
Because I'm going to be hungry. So we're going to go to Our Little Italy, 636 Union Boulevard, West Islip, New York, 11795. If you want to know, call 631-661-6246. Pickup and delivery are available. Ask for John. Go on www.ourlittleItalymenu.com to find out what they have.
Oh, I heard they have good chicken parm. Hey, Ben,
Yes.
I need to talk about solar energy.
Okay. I want to hear about
Lighthouse
it.
Energy Partners. Go solar and start saving today.
Makes sense.
Owner, operated by women.
Ooh.
We believe in order to close the gender gap in the energy field, we need to showcase key female players and keeping them behind the scenes. Their mission is to serve clients with the highest level of integrity, stability, and respect by viewing their customers as partners. Any energy project you have in mind, call on Lighthouse Energy, www.lighthouseenergypartners.com, 631-275-0091, located in Babylon Village, New York.
So I have great news. Since we do this show on divorce, when divorce hits, maybe you want to sell the house. Maybe you need a C of O, a certificate of occupancy for certain things in the house. So if you're looking to make some home improvements, need an architect, contact Certified Drafting. Selling your home, need permits for existing structures, need a property survey, contact Certified Drafting. Certified Drafting will handle all building department matters, serving Long Island for over 20 years. www.certifieddrafting.com, office number 516-844-0420, or you can email Kevin Daly at certifieddrafting.com. Tell them you heard about this from the show, from Breaking the Vow. You're going to receive a 10% discount.
We love Kevin.
I love Kevin. I think that's pretty awesome.
And we're back.
And we are back. So, what do you think your first memory of abuse is?
Oh my God. Damn. It was my cousin. I was at my cousin's house. And it was my cousin male and my cousin female. And, we were in the living room and we were, going to sleep, having a sleepover, and I remember Steven, making out with me, just serious, a serious make out. I had to be maybe 6, 7.
Okay.
And it lasted for a while. And I remember going into the bathroom and I was hysterical crying, wiping my mouth because I was afraid I got pregnant.
Oh.
I couldn't get it out of my mouth fast enough. And all I remember was staring into the mirror and crying, wishing somebody would come and save me. But, in the end, nobody came and saved me. And I remember all I really wanted was my grandparents, because my grandparents were a very big part of my childhood. And
Well, they were safety to you.
they
Right. They were your safe
they were
space.
my safety net. And, that it would be my first memory. And it just got worse from there. It just got worse.
So these are things that happen to people in life. And I can say that as a grown man, it took me a long time to deal with my experiences that happened to me when I was a little boy.
Yeah.
Because there are times where people do things, but when you're a child, you think it's because of you.
Exactly.
Of course you do, because you
Exactly.
have. What do you have to compare it to? You don't have.
And I didn't have a dad.
Right.
My dad left when I was a year old, so it wasn't like I had some consistency. It was just
Right.
me and my mom, single mom. We were on welfare, food stamps. She was the best mom. I'll tell you that much. It was always her and I. We're best friends, sisters, mother, father, everything
Yeah.
to each other. But my grandparents, that's where my time was spent.
Right.
So it was my grandparents were my parents, my mother was my
Yes.
sister. So everything was just kind of ass backwards in a weird way.
Right.
But they were my safe space.
And it's unfortunate when those things happen and they don't stop happening.
Yeah, no, it definitely got worse.
Right.
And
Before
I can't
we go
believe
any
I'm-
further, this is your show.
No.
And this is your safe space. So at any point, you call the shots here. We've never done a show this intense.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful and glad it's you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you. It's weird. I would think that it would be hard for me to talk about this stuff, but it's not.
That's why you're a hero.
Right.
I can recall every memory, and as fucked up as it sounds, I own it. I just own it. It's my memory, good or bad. I'm trying to take the light out of it,
Right.
then the darkness,
Right.
and just try to pull me along.
Yes.
But, I was passed around in my family. It was it was a normal thing, that it just happened.
Right.
So, growing up, there was no. There was no for me. And if I ever said no to somebody and they wouldn't stop, it was why am I even bothering saying no? So I'll just lay here, cry, and let them do what they need to do.
So when
You were
Were
so
you-
lucky I wasn't around. Everyone would have died.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Everyone.
I suffer, that's one of the things that I suffer with. I don't get as angry as I used to. I mean, I was this angry person. All I did was fight. You come near me. I mean,
Right.
there was a time my mother was dating this guy who would beat the living fuck out of her. And I watched it. I watched him pull a gun on her. I mean, and I would try to break it up, and there was nothing I can do. And from all of that, I just grew up to be this tough, like I just couldn't hate enough.
Right.
I hated
Right.
everybody.
You
Well,
right. You
hate-
harbored all of that.
Hate is a really safe emotion because hate is something we understand. It
Yeah.
makes sense. Anger makes
It's the
sense.
easiest
Right.
emotion to feel at
Well,
the end of the day.
It's very daring to love and trust when the people you love and trust trusted you and loved you least.
Yes.
Right.
And this is why I say you're heroic, because you went through this. Here you are, brave enough to tell your story, because I'm going to tell you there's going to be a kid out there listening.
Yes.
Well, that's my whole reason for doing this
Yeah.
is that I'm still here. And there's a reason why I'm still here. And there were
Yes.
so many times in my life that I would be like, why am I not dead? Like, I just want to die. Just let me die. I don't care how you do it, how I do it. You know, I had a plan. If I was ever going to do suicide, I was going to take heroin, bundle of heroin, and shoot myself up, and that'd be the end of it. Like that, I told my therapist, like, people knew, like, if I'm going out, this is how I'm going, but I couldn't, like, there was always this thing inside of me that pushed me, like, you're destined for better.
Right. Thank God.
You know, like,
Right.
there's a purpose for you.
Yes.
You know, and now, thanks to you guys,
You know what that is.
exactly, and I'm able to put it out there and let, you know,
Well, I have to say, I know you a little differently.
okay.
I have to say something about that because, you know, this is definitely an outlet for you, and you're welcome here anytime.
Thank you.
And you know.
Yeah.
I don't,
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
But I knew you, and I never knew you as an ugly, hateful, mean, or angry person. You were always.
Me.
Yeah, you know, you had this smile that was infectious. Like when you smiled at people, like I remember that, and I actually remember, and this is how I remember. I remember being at Woodland, and I just came down. I guess it was where the art rooms are, and there's a whole lot of stories about that place too. But I'm walking towards the end of the hall, and there was that one hall that went back across. I don't know how else to explain it. And I remember seeing you there, and I was like. I was done, and I was like thinking like, I struggled with suicide my entire life, and you smiled at me.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Because I felt your energy.
Yeah.
You know, like, this may sound, I don't know, but like, I believe that from the moment I was born with empathetic gifts.
Yes.
Because I could remember
Yes.
watching my mom.
If you didn't have that, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly, exactly. Like I felt my mom. Like my mom would stand in the living room, singing Lionel Richie and crying because of my real father. And I remember like crying.
Yeah.
Like I felt every emotion, but as much as I, said that I'm tough and I'm mean or whatever, I always could tell the good in people. Like I
Yes.
knew who they were
Yes.
automatically.
Yes.
So that's.
Yeah, I had this image that I hid behind, which was my long hair, which was down past my face.
Yeah.
You know, and if you move the hair out of my eyes, you see my eyes all freaking red and whatever. You know, but
Wonder why, Ben?
I wonder. Well, back then, I mean, that
we
was
were, yeah.
we were like little kids, and I showed somebody a picture of my 9th grade. I think it was like my first time in 9th grade. So I was in 9th grade for a while. I showed them my I think it was my first time in 9th grade, like the school picture. My mother made me cut my hair short, which was long, and then she cut it short.
Yeah.
And someone's like, "Oh, you look like a little boy." I go, "I'm on acid." They're like, "There is no way that kid is on LSD. There's no way."
Oh, you don't know.
So
Yeah.
I it's on my phone, so I open the picture up. I go, "Look at the size of my pupils." And they were huge. And you have this big bright light.
Yeah.
You know, the pupils are supposed to be
Well,
small.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You really are."
Yeah.
I'm not joking, man.
Yeah.
You know, like we were like so the weird way we grew up is we covered our pain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I covered mine with drugs, alcohol, smoking cigarettes, long hair, heavy metal music, which I still love. But
Nah, yeah, good.
I'm actually wearing a Venom T-shirt because I remember the band. So, you know, I had this image that I hid behind. So what I would offer to you is that person was never you. That was what you hid behind because you felt safe.
Well,
Right.
that's perfect because that kind of relates to me being thrown into rehab at 15, being kicked out of high school and, you know, thrown into Daytop in Huntington, Long Island.
Yeah. Well, again.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, whatever.
No. Our story's just pretty much the same.
You know, like, so it's when I was in there, their big thing was image. And I would always wear black. I was always in black. And my counselor told my mom, she can't wear black no more. Go out and buy her a new wardrobe with colors. I was banned from wearing black because everything was about image. That's my image. It was
It's how
what
you
I hid
protected
behind.
yourself, yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Which technically in witchcraft, black is a good thing because it protects you from negative
Right,
energy.
right.
So I look at it a little bit different
It
now,
did.
but at that point,
Sure.
you know, like if the girls got in trouble, if anybody got in trouble, the girls, you couldn't wear makeup, you couldn't wear hairspray, you were
raw.
You were raw.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time that I got in trouble and I had to go in, I was crying. It took them like an hour to get me inside. Because I was like, I can't go in there. They're going to think I'm ugly. What are you, crazy? Like, I can't, you know, like, and I mean, it sounds stupid now, but yeah.
We're going to go to another break. We're flying through here.
Yeah.
I know, we really are.
But we're going to come back and we're going to start to talk about the recovery end of
Yeah.
what we've lived through together, what
Yes.
we've seen through together. So we're going to pay
We'll
some
be
bills
back.
and be right back.
Ben, I found the greatest invention ever.
Okay.
I went to take my patio furniture out.
Okay.
And I realized that last year, when I put it all away, I put them in these big zipper bags from Wrap America.
Yes.
Life-changing.
Yes. No. Rap America is awesome. Tommy definitely helped me out on a few different occasions. He
It
actually
holds patio furniture, wave runners, ATVs. It's weather resistant.
advanced protection wrap
Yes.
is economical and a practical choice.
So call 516-830-0040, or you can go onto their website, wrap-america.com.
All right, since we have a meeting after this in West Islip,
Yes.
I got a place for us to go.
Oh, you do?
Because I'm going to be hungry. So we're going to go to Our Little Italy, 636 Union Boulevard, West Islip, New York, 11795. If you want to know, call 631-661-6246. Pickup and delivery are available. Ask for John. Go on www.ourlittleItalymenu.com to find out what they have.
Oh, I heard they have good chicken parm. Hey, Ben,
Yes.
I need to talk about solar energy.
Okay. I want to hear about
Lighthouse
it.
Energy Partners. Go solar and start saving today.
Makes sense.
Owner, operated by women.
Ooh.
We believe in order to close the gender gap in the energy field, we need to showcase key female players and keeping them behind the scenes. Their mission is to serve clients with the highest level of integrity, stability, and respect by viewing their customers as partners. Any energy project you have in mind, call on Lighthouse Energy, www.lighthouseenergypartners.com, 631-275-0091, located in Babylon Village, New York.
So I have great news. Since we do this show on divorce, when divorce hits, you know, maybe you want to sell the house. Maybe you need a C of O, a certificate of occupancy for certain things in the house. So if you're looking to make some home improvements, need an architect, contact Certified Drafting. Selling your home, need permits for existing structures, need a property survey, contact Certified Drafting. Certified Drafting will handle all building department matters, serving Long Island for over 20 years. www.certifieddrafting.com, office number 516-844-0420, or you can email Kevin Daly at certifieddrafting.com. Tell them you heard about this from the show, from Breaking the Vow. You're going to receive a 10% discount.
We love Kevin.
I love Kevin. I think that's pretty awesome. All right, and we're back with... everybody had to blow their nose and dry their eyes a little bit for the break on this one.
We all had to do that.
That was a
So
little test.
I am not afraid of emotion. Like I used to be afraid of emotion because I thought I have to be this tough guy, and I realized that the toughest thing you could ever do is be you and be emotional,
Be real.
in live and in person. Now, you had mentioned Daytop. I went through my own TC. I was on a farm. You know, shit, cut my hair off. You know, pot sink. You know, you get shot down, thrown in the corner, and all that.
Well,
stuff.
shot down. Like if we got in trouble, we would have to like sit in a chair and face a wall and get a yellow pen and write down all our guilt. You know, so
You know, what's it feeling to you? What's it feeling to you? Because I feel you're doing this. Well, what's it feeling to you? And then you're like, and you don't know how to answer that. They're like, a feeling, anger, sad. What's a feeling to you? You say, I feel this is happening.
Yes.
That's not a feeling. What's a feeling? And they would yell at you.
Yeah.
Well, my first, when I went into the long term treatment, they asked me what grade I was in. I was like, I don't know. They go,
I was in 9th grade 4 times.
I was in 9th grade for like a really long time. No, I never got out of 8th grade math. What was his name? Was it Mr. Pangoza? Was it maybe?
I'm bad with that.
I
have too many drugs. I can't.
Yeah, no, I think it was. And I remember there was this girl, Theresa. You should do my homework for me. Different Theresa, though.
Yeah, not me.
You would have been like, do it yourself, pal.
Exactly.
But like,
I'm not gonna do mine.
So I remember, going there. And I went to a school called Pace.
Oh, I remember Pace.
Yeah, well, half the knuckleheads from
Yes,
Muskie got thrown out went there. So I got thrown out of there, and I had a little bit of an episode, we could say, and I think I might have lost my cheese slid off the cracker, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I explained that I am the god of hellfire and that I am Satan, and I was like screaming at the teacher, and I carved a bunch of things in my arms and legs.
God.
So like, you can't hurt me. I can't even hurt myself. So the teacher really took a very interesting approach to that, and he said, "You know what? I think you're right. I never thought about it like that. Wow, you really have a point. I need you to do me a favor." Now, the school was very small. It was a barn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
I
he said,
remember
go
that.
tell Dr. whatever her name was, who she looked like a mouse without drugs. And I was on a large amount of different psychedelics at the time. And they sit me down, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I believe in the devil." And then that was my last time in any sort of school. So, but before that,
Yeah, I think that takes a cake right now.
that was like the last time. They're like,
Yeah.
well, I think they said, well, you can come back to school, but you have to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist or whatever, a shrink, whatever it was. And I said, what if I don't? He says, well, then you can't come back to school. I said, time out. Hold on. This is why I'm so grateful that the school systems have improved since then. I go, you're telling me either I come to school and see a shrink, or I get to stay home.
Right.
They go, yeah.
Punish me.
We don't want you to think it that way. I'm like, I'm going with B.
Right. What do you think? I'm crazy?
Yeah, B. So
Right.
that was the downfall of
Door number
my
2.
life.
Yeah, really.
It almost killed me. But I don't believe in giving up on children.
No.
No.
But when I went to my rehab, they were like, "What grade are you?" I'm like, "I don't know. They didn't tell me." He's like, "What do you mean they didn't tell you?" And they thought I was being belligerent, so they sat me in the corner. And like senior members, they called them, would come
Yeah.
up, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Why are you in the corner?" I'm like, "I don't know what grade I'm in." And like no one really knew how to answer that. God bless the dead, Robin Ducey in heaven. I love you. I miss you. She comes over to me. She was my teacher at the time. She comes over and she goes, "So you're in 11th grade?" I'm like, "Oh wow, I took 10th grade." And she,
I missed a couple of years.
I didn't know that I took 10th grade. I never took a final. I
Yeah.
never went to
Yeah.
school really, so I didn't know
Yeah.
how that worked. And that was kind of how we grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is we grew up in a very normal, everyday, average, dysfunctional
Yeah,
neighborhood, which
yeah.
is no different than any other place.
Yeah.
Everyone, our generation was definitely different. No one talked about their feelings.
No.
There was no discussions about
Yeah,
what's
there was
going
no
on.
accountability. There was no.
You feel that way? Good. Shut your mouth. Don't tell
Right.
nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
You got a problem at home?
Right.
You keep it there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
Don't
it
bring
there.
that here.
it's a
Right.
secret.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we keep everything as a secret.
Everything
Yeah.
is a secret.
Yep.
So I think that our parents split
Yep.
at some point. And then social media isn't all bad.
No, it's not.
No, it's not all
not.
bad.
No.
Ain't all good,
Right.
No.
but it ain't all bad
No,
because
it's
like
not.
everybody, like I remember when all of a sudden I started hearing names from the neighborhood. I was
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen them in so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it brings back memories.
Yes,
like,
it
oh my God, I
does.
remember what I was doing at that
Yeah.
moment in time.
Yes.
And then sometimes I would read things on your posts, and I was like, brilliant, brilliant. And I
Yeah.
was like, brilliant. I was so proud, So like from our neighborhood, Theresa, I'm telling, like the Outsiders was like a movie that everyone in the
Yeah.
neighborhood related
Yeah,
to.
yeah, that was
Stay
like
Gold,
the
Pony
movie,
Boy was like the
yeah.
whole thing, right? So Cherry Valance,
Yeah.
So it's so interesting because when you know, right? You
Yeah.
can't. And then here it is, you went through this, and then trying to create new relationships.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How was that?
Not easy.
That
Forget
was,
about dating mishaps, which we
no.
talk about.
Oh yeah, we
no.
already did a show on that.
Brian,
That's why I'm
Brian.
47 and single.
Well,
I'm
well, we've
47
learned
and
you
single.
can't really say
and
single
really-
anymore.
You can't say single anymore. This is what I'm saying. You cannot ask somebody if they're single, because single to a man means not married.
Yeah.
So what you have to ask is there anyone else on this fucking planet that calls you theirs?
Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
And don't ever ask nobody. So what's your story?
Ugh,
Yeah, no.
Don't ever ask me
no,
that.
No.
you'll get hurt.
No. Yeah.
You will get hurt.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with
You
you.
got like
because-
14 days in Tahiti and about
Yeah.
38 cases of wine?
Yeah.
Then I'll tell you.
Yeah. I'll take you around the friggin' moon.
Right.
You won't know what hit you.
So now these violations that happen to us in our life that bleeds into the relationships that we have.
So dysfunctional for me.
How did you learn to navigate through that and come out healthier on the other side?
A lot of lessons. A lot of, trusting.
Yeah.
Which, like I don't trust anybody, but I was so blindly trusting people.
Yes.
Like I just wanted everybody to love me.
Right.
I was a people pleaser.
Right.
Like anything I could do. I didn't want to stir up trouble. If somebody pissed me off, 99% of the time, I didn't say anything because I
Right.
didn't want you to leave me.
Right.
Well,
Right.
how were you raised?
I mean,
You didn't want to say no.
yeah, exactly.
So what does that teach you about your value?
I really had nothing. I had no value for myself. Like it was just a free for all,
Right.
to be honest. It was
Here is the greater question. Where's your value today?
whoa, so different. Like I could never imagine valuing myself the way I do now
Right.
and realize what I have.
Yes.
And all the good.
Right. And you wake up every day grateful.
I say this all the time. I'm thankful, grateful, and blessed.
Yes.
And I just say it constantly. And then it's just, like strength from within, like my tattoo
Yeah.
right here, strength from within. It's a reminder
Yes.
that no matter how hard life is going to get, because it's going to throw you curveballs. Like
Absolutely.
like the past couple of months, I feel like the universe took out like an assassin and was like, all right,
Yeah.
we're going to hit her with this, we're going to hit her with that, and
Yeah.
here's another one. And, there's, it's one to be young and have issues, but when you hit a certain age and then you realize the wisdom
Yes.
that was gained through all of it,
Yes.
it's a whole different perspective.
Yes, it is.
I looked at myself in a whole different light.
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute.
And as a woman, you found your power.
Exactly.
You found it.
Exactly.
Thank God. You
Thank
found
God
it. Mm-hmm.
is right, because not many women do, unfortunately.
they don't.
And that's sad.
It is sad.
And I'm not the type of girl that, I cannot stand snobby, jappy, all. Like, I'm a girl's girl. Like,
Yeah,
I
me
will
too.
promote you.
Yes.
I will root for you. I don't even have
Yes.
to know you. But I got your back,
Right.
sister.
Yes.
We're goddesses on this earth,
Yes.
and there's a reason for our stories. There's a
Yes.
reason the way our past went.
Yes.
And like
Everything had a lesson.
Yes.
And we learned it.
Exactly.
And here we are.
Exactly. But Not that I love learning the hard way, but I always learn the hard way.
And that's okay.
Exactly.
It built you who you are right
Exactly.
When lessons are easy,
now. It's not a lesson.
Yeah.
when something comes easy, it's easily forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you got skin in the fight, when you bled, like so.
Yeah.
I remember one time my aunt had this stove, and she was like, she'd always cook.
what?
A stove.
A what?
A stove.
Stove.
A what?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. So I remember it wouldn't get red if it was hot. So in my head, I looked at it and I'm like, it's off. It's not hot anymore. And I touched it to prove that it wasn't hot anymore. I burnt my finger.
Yeah.
She goes, and I was trying. She goes, sorry you got hurt, but now you'll know. Don't do that anymore.
Right. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great analogy. Like, you know, I have pain
Yeah.
from my past. I definitely have times that they surface and I can feel the emotion of them. I don't fight them anymore. I accept them.
Yeah.
And I have memories that come back, and there are times where I have ideas that I think I'm lost. But I've learned that by fighting them, I hold them.
Right.
By accepting them, I keep
It's
them.
almost like
Yeah.
you got to make peace with your demons. You
Yes.
got to become friends with your demons.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, let's sit here, you know, and this
Bring
is
it
what's
to the
going to
table.
happen. Yes, exactly.
Bring it to
to
the
the
table.
table.
All right, so we're going into our last block, and we're going to do a little commercial, and then we're going to come up with our constructive conclusions with Anne
Yes.
Brandy Adagio.
Be back.
Yes.
Ben, I found the greatest invention ever.
Okay.
I went to take my patio furniture out,
Okay.
and I realized that last year when I put it all away, I put them in these big zipper bags from Wrap America.
Yes.
Life-changing.
Yes. No. Rap America is awesome. Tommy definitely helped me out on a few different occasions. He
It
actually
holds patio furniture, wave runners, ATVs. It's weather resistant. It's the
advanced
best.
protection wrap
Yes.
is economical and a practical choice.
So call 516-830-0040, or you can go onto their website, wrap-america.com.
All right, since we have a meeting after this in West Islip,
Yes.
I got a place for us to go.
Oh, you do?
Because I'm going to be hungry. So we're going to go to Our Little Italy, 636 Union Boulevard, West Islip, New York, 11795. If you want to know, call 631-661-6246. Pickup and delivery are available. Ask for John. Go on www.ourlittleItalymenu.com to find out what they have. And
Oh, I heard they have good chicken parm. Hey, Ben,
yes.
I need to talk about solar energy.
Okay. I want to hear about
Lighthouse
it.
Energy Partners. Go solar and start saving today.
Makes sense.
Owner, operated by women.
Ooh.
We believe in order to close the gender gap in the energy field, we need to showcase key female players and keeping them behind the scenes. Their mission is to serve clients with the highest level of integrity, stability, and respect by viewing their customers as partners. Any energy project you have in mind, call on Lighthouse Energy, www.lighthouseenergypartners.com, 631-275-0091, located in Babylon Village, New York.
So I have great news. Since we do this show on divorce, you know, when divorce hits, you know, maybe you want to sell the house. Maybe you need a C of O, a certificate of occupancy for certain things in the house. So if you're looking to make some home improvements, need an architect, contact Certified Drafting. Selling your home, need permits for existing structures, need a property survey, contact Certified Drafting. Certified Drafting will handle all building department matters, serving Long Island for over 20 years. www.certifieddrafting.com, office number 516-844-0420, or you can email Kevin Daly at certifieddrafting.com. Tell them you heard about this from the show, from Breaking the Vow. You're going to receive a 10% discount.
We love Kevin.
I love Kevin. I think that's pretty awesome.
And we're back.
we really are. So this has been a show of victory, ups downs, trials, tribulations,
Up, down, sideways,
Yeah.
backwards.
challenges.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there is something. There's after. There's a movie called After, and I remember hearing she's like, there was this, and then there was after, and we are the after.
Yeah.
Right? We all are the after. You know, everyone's recovering from something, and everyone's gone through something in their life, and we are that.
Yeah.
When you come through and then you come to this realization and you say to yourself these two very amazing and powerful words, no more.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when the healing starts.
Yes.
to come.
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
You know, no
It does.
matter what you're changing from, no matter what you're trying to evolve from. Like I've seen people go from homeless to heroic,
Right.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's really your trajectory.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think that, you know, we one thing we share in common is we like to write. Both of us like to write.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think, you know, one of the things I've always encouraged you to do, and I really want to say it here for the whole world to hear, is your turn to write a book.
Nice.
1000% correct. Yeah. I that is like my dream. I want my story out there. I want people to know that you can survive anything life throws at you.
Yeah.
No matter how dark it is, no matter how bad it gets, you are strong, and you don't even realize how strong you are.
So we had one of the last times we were in the studio, we had a friend from the neighborhood come on. You remember Rob Rugolo?
Yes.
So he was in a motorcycle accident. I think he was 22,
Yeah.
and he was dead.
Yeah.
And
They said he wasn't going to make it.
He wasn't
Wow.
going to make it. He
Wow.
couldn't walk. He had to learn how to breathe, swallow.
Yeah. He had to learn how to do
Wow.
everything all over
I
again.
heard something, but I didn't.
Same as me.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause
yeah.
you kind of lose touch, right?
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he's like a blue belt in Brazil.
With Matt
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah,
With
well-
our
Yeah.
boy Matt Sarah.
Yeah, well, that's the neighborhood hero. He's more than a neighborhood hero, but he is a
No,
hero
yeah.
to us anyway.
Yeah.
Sarah! So anyway. All right. Enough with the fan stuff.
You
So
send
yeah.
people to YouTube again?
Huh?
Come on, don't send anybody.
I'm
to
not
YouTube.
sending nobody.
All right,
Like
good.
I sent someone to YouTube about one of his videos. I'm not sending now. I'm not sending nobody. Wait, hold on. Producer of all producers, Bobby, are you available for a comment? I don't know if he's going to come on now.
He won't.
He's walking around.
He's
because
ignoring us.
He comes out and he goes, what are you doing? You're doing a show and you're sending someone to a YouTube.
Right.
This show's on YouTube. You send them to another show? What are you doing?
Yes.
So, I mean, here is the greatest thing about our constructive conclusion, right? About 25 minutes ago, all three of us were crying, right?
Yeah.
And what are we doing now?
I'm
Laughing.
laughing.
So that means that recovery is possible.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
That means survival is possible.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, our friend Rob, he survived. You know, even Sarah, with what he went through in his life and how he was like the first. I think he was the first American to hold a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Or maybe
Yeah,
it was
I
just
think so,
Enzo
yeah.
Gracie's or Continental American, because
Yeah.
I think it was either between him or BJ Penn. But like, think about, he came from the same neighborhood
Yeah.
as us. He may not
He
have been
had that.
there.
He had the struggle, you know.
Yeah,
like
he-
we all struggled, and there's a difference between people. Like you said, like some people, things are just handed to them,
Yeah.
and then like me, like nothing I ever had in my life was ever just here you go. I struggled for everything, every moment, every
Yeah.
feeling. Like I crawled out of hell, you know what I'm saying? So people like us, it's just a different fight
Yeah.
inside you.
Now,
Right.
you work very hard, and you work a lot of hours.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm actually in finance. I do reverse mortgages. Well, I'm not like a loan officer, but you know, I work in the business. You know, for AAG, which Tom Selleck is actually our you know, yes,
Nice.
he does our infomercials.
Nice.
So he backs us.
So it's interesting because we grew up with the same guidance counselors, the same
Yeah.
number of
Yeah.
teachers,
Yeah.
right? I remember what my guidance counselor told me I was going to be, and guys like Mr. Day,
Oh
I
yeah.
hated that guy. So you know, like he was like, yeah, you're going to be dead by the time you whatever. and you're never going to be anything, right?
Yeah.
And yet, wait a second. None of that was true.
None of it.
None of it was true.
None of that was true. So
None of that is
think about
true.
the odds that you've defied in your life.
Yes. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's just powering through. You know, it becomes mind over matter, and I don't mean it in a. It's a mind game at
Yeah.
the end of the day,
Yes.
and that's what I realize. It's a
Yes.
mind's game.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get sucked in. You know, like I have ADD, ADHD, depression, bipolar. You know.
Yeah.
OCD, like I have every DD out there that there is. And it's just learning. It's how do I explain it? It's like a different way of coping mechanisms.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
when I was 40, I got arrested for drugs. Bad point in my life, another bad
Yeah.
point in my life. I decided to go to therapy because I was just so miserable and I hated everything.
Right.
I hated myself, and I'm like, all right, I got two choices right now. Do I want to live or do I want to die?
Right.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, if I want a future, I need to be happy.
Right.
So in order for me to do this, I need to put myself back in therapy.
Yeah.
Put myself back in therapy. What did the lady pick out? My child abuse. You know, all the sexual abuse that I had. I mean, even in high school, in junior high school, Mr. Howfield, my Spanish teacher, 4 years from 7th to 10th grade, he would sexually harass me. I used to beg people, the guidance counselors, whoever it was, please take me out of his class. I don't want to be in his class anymore. Why? You're doing great. You're getting A's. And I'm like, no, like really. I mean, obviously,
confided in the wrong people.
Yeah,
Right.
I did, you know. And he would call up my house. Like one time, like we were sitting. He had us like in like little groups, and he comes up to me in front of like 3 other kids, and he's like, "I jerked off to your picture last night," and I'm like, and he would make
What?
me. Yeah, I swear to God, yes. I'll never forget that as long as I live. Like he blatantly was just like, "Yeah, I jerked off to your picture last night," and I'm like, "You make me stay after class."
Oh my
It
God.
was like so.
There was another teacher. I don't say names. I don't do that. There was
well,
another teacher. Mr.
oh well.
S.
I don't.
You would remember. I'm telling you off the air.
Yeah,
He was a social studies teacher,
I don't remember.
and he would smoke with the kids. And he would
Oh,
take
I
them-
think okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No names. No names.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, like, I remember when we were kids, we were like, how cool that guy was. Now, as an adult, if
Look
I
at
found
it
out that guy
totally
was near my
different.
kid,
Yep.
Yeah.
he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
He'd
shot.
be a grease spot. Like,
No.
listen, I'm all for change. I'm all for people make mistakes. I'm all for whatever. I'm all about improvement and recovery. And I am proud of who I am in the mental health world. But I'm also human.
Yeah, yeah.
I would never want that around my children.
Oh no! Well, when
And-
you're a kid, you know,
You think
it's
it's
the
cool.
coolest thing. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I get to smoke a joint with this guy.
Yeah.
He's letting me get away with everything, but it's doing you a disservice.
Right.
Well, he's a predator.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't know what
Right.
a predator was. So the first time I ever saw a naked girl like in the flesh was when I was in sleepaway camp. There was a hole in one of the showers.
Really? Of course.
You knew about that.
Yeah, of course.
You
But
knew
you
about
had
that.
to bring it up.
No. Well,
Of course you
here's-
had to go there.
Here is
Oh.
the reason why. So when I was young, I was like, wow, imagine the luck that I have that I found out that there was a hole there. And I remember, of course, I looked.
Remind me of the movie Porky's.
Yeah, it was no different than that. It was literally no different
Yeah.
than that. As a matter of fact, they put something on the hole. So when my eye went on, I didn't know I had black stuff on my eye.
Oh,
100%.
God.
Yeah.
That's
now,
great.
Now here it is. It happened, and no one really got mad. And the girls that knew I was looking didn't really get too mad, which was kind of cool. But somebody put that hole there.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I didn't think about
Yeah.
that.
Right.
But if I found out that my child was going
You
to
knew
that
it
camp,
was an adult who did it. You know, somebody.
I didn't think about it
You
then.
know that.
Right.
But it
Yeah.
was a perfectly drilled
Yeah.
hole that you can like literally see. And I remember thinking, wow, this is the greatest thing since pockets, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, what happened was you grow up and you learn that, wait a second. And you learn to question the lessons
Well,
that you were taught.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when I went back to therapy, and like it was like she took me out of it, and I was like an angel, kind of like floating over, and I really realized what was actually done to me.
Yeah.
And the people who did it. And it was like the worst feeling.
Yes.
Like the disparity of it all
Right.
was just overwhelming.
Yes.
But it was the best thing because I faced it head on,
You did.
you know, and
did.
I felt it. I
And at that
mean,
point, you didn't have a choice but to face it head on.
exactly, like, yeah, like
Yeah.
life was like,
And
Yep.
if ever there was a constructive conclusion, that was the best one yet.
Yes.
thank you.
This is
Yeah.
obviously the most powerful show I've ever been part of.
I am
Yeah.
so happy that I
So-
was able to be here.
Yeah.
I thank you. I am Benny, the life coach,
I'm Theresa D.
and we're out of here.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.